Okay, right. So because everyone was asking me for an update on what I'm doing, all the millions of people in the comments being like, "Hey, what's going on with this, bro? Tell us what's up." So here's what's up. All right, but you're one of them, the billions of people. Then, right. So today, what we're doing is well. Oh my god, I really wish I could do a coherent video, but it's just not possible. So let's just dart around until we feel like all the points that I want to talk about have been talked about. So this week I was thinking I'm on holiday. I want to get a lot of stuff done. So I was thinking we'll get shooting done. We'll get some bad guys. We'll set up the level so we can shoot and all the stuff that I kind of had before that I knew it's possible. We could do that in quite a quick time. But then I was like, but as I do this, I want to make everything that I did before a bit cooler than it was last time. And knowing that the only difference between making it even cooler beyond that is just a time and like creativity. Like this, for example. Like sure, I can make that cooler now, but am I gonna right now? No. So, but then I was like, right, the fire. I was like, before I do all the guns and stuff, let's just spend a bit of time on the fire. So I got some new effects off the marketplace that are because it's a good place to start is using other people's stuff and then making it your own, and that's what we've got here, a kind of combination of a new and old effect where we've got this new blue part that goes into a red part, but then that red part is just the old tail, so it's kind of cool. It actually blurs together so well that it looks like it's the same effect, so that's freaking sick. And this isn't the be all and end all, but then it wasn't long into doing this that I encountered an issue, which some of you might be noticing already, all the billions of people watching. So the problem I had was that the sprites were vertical here. So on the right hand side, we've got the original one. You can see the sprites are all vertical, and there's some business. There's probably a fucking really easy way to do this. So I hope I haven't just found the most complicated way to do this on the planet. But it's possible. But I was looking into it and I couldn't find the answer. So I ventured off in the direction that I was finding at least some hope for me being able to achieve what I wanted. So there's like to set these to the velocity, but the velocity is only relative to its own world space or something. I don't know, but anyway, I couldn't get it to fucking do it. All right, so right, moving, and there's a bunch of reasons that actually made sense. So what I thought I would do instead, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if, right? So I'll start you off with where I was thinking, because this is the problem that happens where you start realizing something might be possible, and then you start trying to achieve it because you're like, I could do that, and then you end up with learning all the problems that come with it. So here we are learning all those problems. So the first thing was just getting it to, well, I was like, right, so the effect itself is here, and then it's on, I basically wanted it to rotate, so I was like, I just want to rotate it based on the movement, so if I move my hand, it's kind of changing the direction of the, it's just going with whatever the direction is, which makes sense. So I was like, that can't be too hard, right? We'll just tell that rotate based off the velocity of my hand, which is going to be this changing depending on whether my hand is moving or whether I am moving. And I was like, that sounds sound enough. But then it turns out that I found it, I'm sure it's possible to get basically they're separate, so the movement of this doesn't add up with the speed of me doing this, so this doesn't. Anyway, I'm sure there's a nice easy way to add it, and we're gonna have another million goes at this, but I've already had a fucking zillion, so we're just doing a video of this current implementation before I redo it all when I realize what a dumbass I've been. Then that didn't work. So then I decided, right, we'll just keep things simple for now, nice and simple. We'll just do the rotation based on the velocity of the character, so that then and that makes sense. Anyway, that was a whole, oh my god, it took me hours of going through, like, talking to Grok, where Grok's like, yes, that's exactly right, do this and that, and I'm like, right, it's making sense. And then anyway, a million wrong directions to realize a way that it could be done, to then go back and tell Grok, like, Grok, what the fuck have you been doing? And it's like, oh yeah, that's a brilliant idea, I wish I fucking thought of that. And I'm like, so right, anyway, so we've got another problem now as well, because one thing again might be apparent already is that you want to I want it to be constrained, so the angles, like, I don't want it to be going like through the thruster. I want it to be, about 45 degrees of this rotation, so that it's not like a 1,000,000 degree rotation, but a bit of rotation. And that has proven to be another challenge, which I have had several attempts at fixing, and we're going to leave it for now, so that's fine. But, I figured the spot that we've got it in now was good to demonstrate, like, why I'm trying to do it, but also, so, because we're just trying to make the fire really fucking cool, and this is just like, we can build whatever fire we want, but if I can't get it to do this, then it's fucking no point in whatever fire we make. So, you can see the difference, and it is quite satisfying to actually have gotten it to do that, because one of the reasons I was so stuck with the one at the tail there for so long, because I realized, I had this problem ages ago, and I just bumped it off for later, when I realized that with other effects that have got, more a lot more vertical, what do you call them, sprites. So anyway, that's all. But we're gonna get to shooting. I've already set up like a basic health thing. I've been kind of what's his name, Ali something or other, does amazing fucking tutorial guy. So I've been watching his videos for so we're setting up health, we're gonna set up the projectiles, we're gonna set up shooting, but this was like just a massive detour. So, like I say, I've got a week on holiday, and now I know why people actually do this. Well, like I learned before, it's like you sort of know why people have this as an actual job, because it's fucking solid. It takes a lot of time to get good at. So, like, yeah, sure, this might be easy. There could be some like ultimate Unreal developer that's like, oh, dude, just do this, and I'll be like, I don't understand. But yeah, I was pretty chuffed with the outcome of this, because but also it's a bit awkward right now, where it's not very natural. Like, it doesn't, oh my god, I can't even get into why this is happening, but I've had to set it up to not, it doesn't flow right. I've had to intervene, where I basically tell it, if it's going less than 400, start moving it back to the center of this random center that it seems to have decided itself, that even if I take it off, so you can see that that happening here, where it's kind of snapping. I've set the snap to be really slow, but it's still too fast, where it makes it look jarring. So I was hoping to blend it really nice, which maybe I can do further, but so there's everything below 400, which was important for when you're landing, because you want it to be all cool, where you're like, all cool like that, and it but then when you take off, you want it to go with the, so that's just the way it would look, right? Or at least getting closer to what would be physics based. Now obviously what would be amazing is if I could just do a full physics smoke fire simulation, but that's not fucking happening. Or it could happen, but be like 1 frame a week. So this is it's becoming see, if I set the constraints, it will cause it to curl a bit more as well, which I think will look really good, so with the angle constraints. But right now, the only time it's really that obvious, in fact, it's actually pretty good, I have to say, when you're flat. Sorry about the big arrow, but that was, you see what it's all being controlled by. So that the speed, I'm just leaving that arrow there. All right, okay. I haven't even fucking noticed that arrow this entire time, because for me that arrow is like blending into the background. My brain is not registering that arrow. So anyway, there we go. Very promising coolness. Like, it's almost cool. If it's almost cool, and then obviously we can increase the intensity of the. I haven't even got into dealing with the bloody effect yet. The only thing I did was took off a bunch of stuff that was making it too lacking, too demanding, so too expensive. So it had a bunch of haze and stuff. It's like the most popular one on the Fab marketplace for thrusters, and they're pretty brilliant. They're if nothing else a really good reference for how to create all that stuff. But yeah, I'm sure that someone's going to say, oh, you just tick this box, and see if someone tells me that I tick that velocity box in the fucking emitter, like Grok out telling me, I'm like, shut the fuck up. That's not what does it. So Grok was adamant. Anyway, we've been through a few. I actually started trying to use the Unreal AI, and then I just started watching a video by Blue Drake, where he's talking about like this AI plugin that he's working on for the sound pretty badass. it sounds really, really cool, actually. So I'm listening. I don't know what to do about that yet because I haven't got far enough in my own stuff. But definitely an inspiring bunch of dudes, the Blue Drake and crew, for their. In fact, it's actually what made me want to do this or try, because I'm like, they're like, oh, you can totally do this yourself, and I'm like, really? Like, well, maybe not quite, guys. Maybe it was a bit more biting off a bit more than I thought I could chew or whatever. But anyway. So hopefully by the end of the week, I'm going to move on from this now. That's going to do for now. We're going to set this one to the right controller as well, and then we're just going to have that for now. And then I'm going to move on to doing the projectiles and bodies and shooting, because I just want a level where the fire looks kind of cool and you got a few bodies to go around and shoot. Stationary turrets, and maybe we'll do a flying guy again like last time, but they'll be a little bit cooler than they were last time, not just a cone triangle flying with no material. So we'll try and make it slightly cooler. Like I say, I'm not going to spend all day on it, but if this is anything to go by, it'll be something similar where it's just a little cooler than literally a cuboid. So yeah, right, that's sick though, isn't it? Yes, this is okay. Thanks for watching, millions of everyone.